Good news, everyone. I found my new favorite level for Little Falls. At 4.8, the water is about as high as it gets before the actual island that creates the Maryland and Virginia sides of the rapid is submerged. That means you get the maximum water flowing channelized through the channel between the Maryland shore and the island. It is fast. The waves are coming from every direction. They're nice and tall, but still the rapid is predictable. The lines are very, very similar to lower levels. And once that whole island goes underwater at 5 feet plus, the rapid really expands to be the whole river, and it's a lot more chaotic in ways it's more consequential. The waves are kind of fewer but bigger and meaner. So honestly, I'll take 4.8 any day of the week, and I think it really is the way to get the most out of this rapid, just in terms of like Lower Gualey style zooming fun. Another bonus is that the bone zone, which of course I came to call the section between Z channel and midway waves when it was low water summer and you just had to like rock hop your way through it. Now that whole thing is a rapid with fun bouncy waves. And the boof is still good at Z channel, so there's just a ton to do. And we'll dive into it with an awesome group of paddlers today. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. So after landing, I'm going to try and exit this eddy because I know that's the objective of anyone boofing it. And so unfortunately, Keith is coming downstream because of circumstances outside of his control, and I'm in his way. He handles it beautifully. Check this out.
Wait, you rolled in that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lots of room. Not a lot of room. Not a lot of room. Don't worry.
Let's go, dude.
You know the sun, you love it, I love it too, center of the solar system, life-giving star, all that good stuff. But just a reminder that those helmets come with visors for a reason. I keep complaining about getting blinded by the sun, and it takes 2 seconds to put the visor on my helmet. And for some reason still it's sitting in a closet over there. I'm going to break it out right after this video so that I have it if I'm ever going to be paddling bigger waves and like staring at the sun, you know. Y'all, this section is usually so boring. It's super fun at this level. Go try it.
Ahead of you. Rock, yeah.
Well, it's not boring for everybody, and it definitely wasn't always boring for me. But another thing I want to point out is that this water is moving, and it's, you know, almost 20,000 cubic feet per second. So it's not inconsequential. And we're paddling with a big group of experienced paddlers, but I do start to notice us getting really far apart from one another. So I'm catching this eddy. I'm going to wait to make sure we've got a good head count before we head down. Even when you've got all the best and brightest around you, it makes sense to pay attention to those basics of group paddling safety. Once we got everybody together, we headed down, no worries at all, but just wanted to remind you of the head game.
Oh, I love the code.
Yeah, I know.
Just dry
I
face.
was just sitting there just going backwards before, and I just like, I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, I'm paddling the Dagger Code. I just had a cold water swim at a lower level than this on the Virginia side, And y'all, I just didn't feel like risking it. So I brought out the code for some little additional confidence, you know, feel a little bit higher and drier. And it definitely did that. And it gave me the experience I was looking for, which is really zoomy, fun, working on my paddling basics and big waves. And next time I'll bring the rewind out, but keeping it chill for this 2-run day at 4.8. I also want to remind you that this water is moving faster than you're used to if you're paddling little falls under 4 feet. So you're moving downstream at a faster clip than you expect. And again, as a reminder, at high water, you're missing a lot of those landmarks that let you know where you are. You're not going to see slingshot. You'll barely see beaver slide. And that boogie water, the little waves, starts way earlier on little falls. And the Little Falls Rapid goes way longer than it usually does. So go with someone who knows, or otherwise make sure that your eyes are peeled for those obstacles on the shore, like the observation deck, for example, which will let you know where you want to be. Additionally, just remember, Chain Bridge is your last stop. So you can always adjust because it's very, very clear when there's no leaves on the trees where Chain Bridge is. Reminder, above 5 feet, the chain bridge pylons become lethal. You do not want to swim. You do not want to go anywhere near those in your boats. At 4.8 or so, you still don't want to go anywhere near them, but they're not these big churning holes that'll eat you. All right, so really quick, last thing. The line is really simple. You're going to hit welcome wave, and you're going to make sure to bear left to go down Maryland. You'll see the waves piling off the island. Follow those down, and once you're down in the Maryland waves, start working your way right, because there's a far left hole that's in just that Maryland wave train that will flip you. Keith gets eaten by that one. And then right past the takeout, there's another hole at this level. It's backed up by a rock. So you want to make sure you don't hit that as well. Passing the tip of the island now. When the river is high, there is a much stronger chance that it'll snag debris and wood and carry it downstream. So even in these big chaotic waves, it's possible to end up next to a log, which is very important to be aware of while you're paddling. You do not want something like that to surprise you underwater. So I'm pulling over into the eddy, but you can continue paddling downstream. Be aware of the hole, which I'll get to in a second, but also know that you can still get to the Maryland side and attain back up. So people enjoy this wave train. I didn't paddle it this time because we're getting ready for another lap anyway. All right, so coming up, we're actually going to get Keith's perspective. He got a GoPro, and he's been generous enough to share that footage with me. He also shared with me that he was a little bit nervous about the step up into bigger water. He's done the Lower Gualey twice. He brought his creek boat, so he was fine. But it's worth noting that this is consequential, fast, tall water, so it's not to be taken lightly. There's a reason a lot of us have creek boats. You know, bring your safety gear, all of that good stuff. If you're used to little falls at 3.5, this is truly a different beast.
That's not nothing.
All right, we got the jitters out, and some of us decide to get a second lap, so we walk our boats all the way back past the canal to the parking lot at Lock 5. Luckily, all we have to do is cross the bridge, go down the hill, put our boats in, attain like 50 yards, hang a left, and we're at Beaver Slide. Now, Beaver Slide, of course, is totally underwater, so we're paddling out to the main Potomac, which will put us very, very quickly at Little Falls. I timed this. So between literally my boat touching the water at the put-in here, the quick one at Lock 5, and then getting into the eddy below Little Falls, including all of our dilly-dallying conversations and chatting and stuff, was 10 minutes. So if you wanted to, I'm sure that you could come up here, put in, run Little Falls, and take out in literally like probably 6 minutes flat, to give you an idea of how quick this is. So you could come out and get a ton of laps, but in the winter when there's no water in the canal, you'll be walking a lot. Oh yeah, and we're starting with Keith Cam this time. Note, he goes into the hole that we're trying to avoid by starting to go river right after we pass the island in the Maryland wave train. So this is where he starts to get further left than he wants to be. That's what he told me, and he's kind of hugging the rocks, which leads him to the hole.
Found the hole. Found the hole.
I was like, oh no.
All right, y'all, that's it. Thanks for watching. This is a bunch of footage of what I think is definitely my favorite level on Little Falls. I cannot wait for it to come back and be 4.8 feet so I can get it at low tide. This was high tide. I'm really curious what the difference might be with low tide, if you get even more speed on the Maryland side because the island's a little more exposed. Just wondering, I don't really know, so I'll get back out here and get a video of it. Also, I really love this trend of people sharing their footage with me. If you don't have the inclination to cut it together and post it up, but you think people could learn from it, I'm your guy. Just let me know, and just send it to me. Instagram is at Potomac Beater, no spaces or anything, or I think you can message on YouTube or leave a comment. Anyway, I really appreciate all the time y'all take to watch these videos. I hope they're helpful, and as always, if I can do anything better or improve, or if you have feedback, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Other than that, see you on the river and happy paddling.